Uh, as you guys know, I'm a massive Ryan Garcia fan, and he'll be fighting tonight in the US um for uh, at Times Square for the WA regular title against Rolly Romero, who somehow keeps getting these big fights despite only being 16-2. His record is not that impressive, but he managed to just get up there all the time. Then we have Devin Haney vs Jose Ramirez just before that, and the first fight of that mega fight card will be um, Teofimo vs Arnold Barboza Jr. So three fights that could have been headliners for any other event, but they're all happening tonight live on the zone um, at the Times Square. Uh, but let's get into it. Let's see who I think will win each fight and why. First up, Teofimo vs Arnold Barboza Jr. This fight, I think, is the closest in terms of quality. I think Jose Ramirez coming off a loss, despite any bad things I've had to say about Devin Haney, he is a very good boxer, and I think the skill gap between him and Ramirez is a bit wider than people think. Um, and Ryan and Romero, I don't have to get into that. I think Romero, other than performing as well, or I think even better than Ryan in the tank fight, I don't think he has done anything close to what Ryan has done in his career. So I think this first fight is the closest in terms of skills, matchup, and record, etc. So I think Teofimo will be having you know, one of the hardest fights of his life. And the same for Arnold Barboza Jr. But he did beat Jose Ramirez quite convincingly last time out. So I think he might, be a bit more confident in this fight. And that is a huge part to play, especially when you're fighting against a guy like Teofimo. And I think it's going to be a very, very, very razor thin fight. I don't think it's going to be a knockout. I think this is going to be a decision. I still got Teofimo Lopez, mainly because I believe he's a hugely talented boxer, a lot of tenacity, and despite his tomfoolery in the press conference and all, I think he's a really, really serious boxer, one to watch at 147. I mean, this fight is happening at 140, technically, junior welterweight, but I think he will be moving up to 147. He's one to watch in those two weight classes, and yeah, I think he'll win a decision. I'm not really sure it's going to be unanimous or split or majority, but it is going to be a very close decision. I think there'll be only 2 or 3 rounds in it. Next, we have Devin Haney with Jose Ramirez. So a lot of people have been, backing Ramirez to beat Devin Haney. Not a lot of people want to see Devin Haney win, and that has got to do more with his dad than him because his dad is like this massive shit talker for someone whose son just lost, not lost. I mean, it ended up being a no contest, but he got his ass beat instead of being humble like how Devin has been. He's been running his mouth all over. So yeah, I don't think people can stand the Haney family at this current point in time. I also can't stand them. Devin did try to shit talk a bit in the press conference, but like he himself said, he has to let this performance do the talking. He needs to have a good showing against Ramirez, and then after that, move on to Ryan Garcia and see whether he can improve for the rematch. Personally, I think Devin Haney beats Ramirez, but I don't think it's gonna be like this massive highlight reel of a performance where he beats down Ramirez in the comeback fight, and everyone's like, "Oh, does he really have more in his pocket than we think?" I think it's gonna be another close fight, not as close as the first one, but I think if we do get a knockout, or knockdowns, I think it'll be later on in the fight. I think Haney will have better cardio, being the younger man, and yeah, I think he'll use his jab well, keep Ramirez at bay. That is what Devin Haney is good at the outfighting aspect of it. I think he will have improved his defense. Ramirez, of course, he'll have to use that. He is the underdog for this fight. He has to come up against a formidable opponent. He lost last time out. He claims it's because of the weight. We don't know whether that's true or whether he's just making an excuse. But we will see. We will see. And I think it's going to make for a good fight, believe it or not. So final prediction: Devin Haney by I think by TKO, but it's going to be a late TKO. And finally, we move on to the main event of the night. which is Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. So this fight, mega fight in terms of names, in terms of skill wise, is it going to be a banger? Not really that convinced of it. Rolly Romero is a very good shit talker, but does he have it when he comes in the ring? I don't think. I think like Ryan himself says, the chin went after he got knocked out by Pitbull. Then he got knocked out by Isaac Cruz again. Sorry, the first time the chin went was against Tank, and then he got knocked out by Pitbull again, and that was a devastating knockout. I think that just sealed his fate a bit. I think the chin's gone. Uh, Technique wise, he is a very powerful person. Technique wise, a bit sloppy. So I think Ryan will punish that. I think we see a KO from Ryan. I think not trying to glaze Ryan Garcia here, but talent wise, Ryan Garcia is a pound for pound great in the in the 140, 147, whatever weight class you call it. In that batch, Teofimo, Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Romero, Stevenson, him. I think that batch, talent wise, he's up there. He's one of the best pound for pound. It's not necessarily translated to all his fights, you know, but he has been impressive. Bar that Tank fight, I think he has had quite a decent run of performances. I've not really seen a stinker from him yet. You know, the Devin Haney was a crowning moment of his career, but that got taken away from with the Austrian controversy and all that. So I think he'll be hungry to get back in and produce highlight reel. He get a KO within the first 6 rounds. I'm being deadly serious here. I think round six, I think maybe round seven, round six, seven, he's gonna get a KO. He's gonna land that left hook of his, that money punch of his, and it's night night for Romero. So I think Ryan Garcia wins the main event and WA regular world title at 147 via knockout in the 6th or 7th round.